Yeah, just go it other way.
Okay, we are live. We are live.
Oh, oh shit! Wait, hold on.
That's
How do I
okay.
how do I change the orientation? I'm all
That's all
backwards
right.
now.
Don't worry
That's
about it.
okay. That's topsy
All right.
turvy, like the United game today,
Okay.
guys.
All right.
Welcome
Hello,
to Chow with
everyone.
Gary.
Let's not even say. Uh,
Let's. We have Rishi with us today. Rishi, thanks for coming back. Uh, I think you chose to come on at a time where I've been extremely disappointed by the game. Gary, thoughts?
can you be upset, Chai? I don't know. We didn't play football. We came there. We thought we were going to win before the game even started. We couldn't get out of our half. We couldn't pass the ball. We couldn't shoot. Um, I think, look, end of the day, kudos to Villa, man. They deserve the 3 points. Um,
Rishi, thoughts?
Um. Yeah. So full disclosure, I saw 55 minutes of this game. I didn't see the first 35 minutes, and I'm told that that was some of our best football. But given the standard of what followed in the 55 minutes I did watch, I don't think that was too high a benchmark. So I'm not at all surprised. I've followed Oli so closely that I know what games to watch and what not to watch. I knew we were going to lose the League Cup game. I knew we were going to,
Why do you say
have a
that?
tough game.
I'm
Because
curious. What
I'll
you?
tell you why. Because it's the same problems repeating over and over and over again, and we haven't actually found the solution. Because the solution is either one of two things: A, that there is some personnel issue. Most people say it's the midfield, and I tend to agree. It's the personnel issue or it's the manager issue. It's either one of them. And unfortunately, in the 3.5 years that we've been here, we've never had like a clear answer for our issues. It's always been, oh, the board is not buying the player. Oh, Solskjaer's got the player, but he's not performing well. Oh, we don't scout well enough. Like people like Fred, who we paid 52 million pounds, and 6 million a year we're paying him as salary. किस चीज के लिए दे रहा भाई? Like, my ambition in life now has become to be it's become to be employed by Manchester
United.
United Football Club,
Exactly.
because they are the
sign me up.
chillest bosses ever. They
Yeah.
are the chillest bosses ever. You could fuck up like a million times and you would still get a million and one
Phil
time.
Jones is still on a paycheck. Can you believe that shit? Phil Jones today is
You
on a
know,
paycheck.
you
Mata
know
today is
what's
on a
yeah.
paycheck.
You know what's
Sorry.
the most frustrating thing, right? Is that before the season started, there was this myth being put out there that we were going to play 4-3-3 with one central midfielder. Okay, we go
Yeah.
into a transfer window. We knew our priorities even before the season ended last season. Midfield was our weakest point in the whole team. We went into the summer. We said, okay, let's shelve the defensive midfielder. Let's look at Sancho. We got Sancho. Now he's sitting on the bench. Okay. Then we decided,
I don't
okay,
think Sancho changes this game. Let me be honest.
Chai, no, no, no. What I'm trying to say is that our priorities in terms of who's actually looking at the team and deciding where the key areas to strengthen is. So we decided, look,
Yeah.
midfield, okay, I'm going to park it. I'll get Sancho. Next, I need a partner for Maguire. I'm going to get a Varane. Then we're going to concede, 50 goals less than last season or whatever it is. And then I'm going to get another striker because apparently we don't
Cavani
have
is.
enough strikers. Okay. And then we go into this season, like Rishi was saying, the same problems in midfield. We can't hold on to the ball. We can't string some passes together. We're not press resistant. Villa today, they came at us. They pressed so high, and basically we just couldn't get out of our half in the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, there are a lot of things that frustrated me this game, right? Good. You didn't watch you didn't miss
It's bad.
anything groundbreaking in the first 35 minutes, Rishi. Let me put it that way. You didn't miss anything earth shattering. Nothing fucking happened, right? But here's my concern: a manager of a manager of Manchester United plays McFred at home to Villa, to cover up some cup game he lost, which okay, that's something we need to address as well.
Mm.
We pushed it off saying the cup game loss was because we played a second string. West Ham played their second string squad as well, right? And we know what happened when Liverpool played the second string squad and they fucking thulped Norwich, right? Why do we have to resort to two defensive midfielders at home to Villa? One. Second, why is it our go-to tactic when, for fuck's sake, we're United playing at home? We have the strike force better than any other bloody club except for PSG. Rishi, I'll
But
come to you
Chari, I got a
first.
question. I got a question for you here.
Yeah.
Are you sure that Ollie or the management team looks at McFred or McTominay and Fred as defensive midfielders? Because with 5 minutes to go, the ball comes in from the right wing into the half space. It's McTominay trying to deliver a cross, which
Yeah.
overshoots the far post. What the hell is he even doing with the ball at his feet in a situation like that? He should be covering.
Exactly.
He should be covering the centre backs.
Correct.
Hey guys, you know what? I just want to. Sorry, now that you're talking about the fullbacks, right?
I need this.
I want to bring
I
this
need
point,
as well.
right? We look. Shaw got injured. Obviously, someone had to come in and replace him. Dalot was there. I just find it surprising that it's Solskjaer is not part of the discussion when Dalot's being brought in. Like we've got the set piece coach,
I mean, who
whatever
else
his
is
name.
there?
I think
Who else
Eric
is there?
Ramsey is there.
Who else
Like
is there though? I mean, in our
no, what
substitution,
Chai?
there's no
Like
one else to play.
you as a
defensive.
manager, you need to know what's happening. You need to be part of the discussion, the 3-man discussion, or instructions on the way they're going to play. The fact that Solskjaer is looking at the field aimlessly when Eric Ramsey is talking to Dalot to pass him instructions, I find that surprising. Like
Man,
even if you don't know, okay,
if
you
that's
don't know
what's
the
surprising
intricacies
you,
of.
I think there's something else. I think we're missing out here. I get your point. I get your point. Okay, Luke Shaw's injury is not foreseen, right? But I think there are bigger issues here, right? For me, there are bigger issues. Right from his press conference, I think before the Villa press conference, he said he's going to play Cavani as well, and he's going to play front two, or that's the feeling he gave us, right?
He lies a lot.
Yeah,
Lies.
evidently. I was fully expecting he's going to fucking throw something in the throw something different at us, hoping for Cavani and Ronaldo to start. And what I see is the exact same squad he started against West Ham last time. And West Ham, we were lucky. Let's not underestimate how lucky we were to scrape that result against West Ham in the league. I'm not talking about the cup, right? And karma comes back to backbite us with Bruno missing the penalty. That's not. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm happy he did, because that would have been a paper over cracks, right? For the shit game that we played today, I believe Ole is to blame. I don't know your thoughts, but I want to know why. I want to know why McFred start. I'm very angry. I'm very angry.
I Rishi can probably take this one first. Yeah.
See, I think this question has been asked too many times. None of us has the answer. There's something that McTominay and Fred provide. I get the feeling it's that they are relatively mobile, and maybe on FIFA they have a couple of more defensive and physical stats compared to Donny. So that's where Ollie's taking his cues from. He's like, no, I don't need these guys to pass the ball. I just need a 5 yard. By the way, Fred's passing today was so much better compared to his Southampton's shit show and all. So I mean, slim pickings in terms of
Yeah.
silver linings, but we'll take what we get today, right? So I get the feeling that with Fred and McTominay, right? They don't have all the answers. They have some of the answers, and they are happy with what they have, because Ollie said it many times, even before we bought Ronaldo, that he's happy with the squad. So whether it's him being diplomatic to protect his ire of the bosses, to be nice to his bosses, or whether he genuinely believes that. He's got to take responsibility because those words are coming out of his mouth. So, and he's got one very good setting. It's like when two political parties have a fallout, right? They're in a coalition and they have a fallout. So then they come out and they badmouth each other. But if you're in a coalition, you know that no matter how badly I screw up my ministry, as long as I'm talking nice about the godfather of the other coalition, I'm safe. So Ollie's got that whole Indian politics, Maharashtra politics set up down. So I don't
He's a
know.
good politician. He's a good politician. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very good politician. See,
Yeah.
the thing, just to come back to McTominay and Fred now, I feel that they are the best options in Ollie's mind. Okay, so that's the only explanation I have. I don't have any other explanation. I seriously don't know what they bring. I know what they bring, but I don't know why something else has not been tried. You know what I mean? Because it's been the results that they've given out are pretty much run of the mill, and they've worked best in a
Run of
different
the
kind of game.
mill. Dude, I think Ward-Prowse is a better fucking midfielder than both of them put together. That's what frustrates me. For a team of United's caliber, I guess.
Dude, the problem with United is sorry.
I don't know, man. Maybe with Fred, it's the price tag. You don't want to let that money seem like it's gone to waste, which I don't know why, because we've done it. We've already written off signings like Di Maria. We took a heavy loss on Di Maria. We took a heavy loss on Alexis Sanchez. I think Alexis Sanchez, we lost around 60 million pounds for 5 goals and 45 games.
But we saved on his wages, I guess. But look, for me, guys, I want to compare the game that we played, the League Cup, right? In the League Cup, I thought we played pretty well. I wasn't too disappointed. I mean, I was disappointed with the result. I was disappointed when we went out. But I think overall, we controlled the game a bit better in midfield. We just lacked a lot of quality up front, I thought. We were too, we didn't make the incisive runs. We didn't really try shots. We had too many players who wanted the ball to the feet, not enough runners. We didn't take enough shots, obviously. So I think we just lacked balance up front. Today is the complete opposite. We had too many players who wanted to shoot, but no one wanted to create. Like up front, you look at it, you had Greenwood, Pogba, Ronaldo, and Bruno. 3 shooters and 1 creator in Pogba. Like I think we didn't have balance there. And then when you go into midfield, there's no one there in midfield who's going to hold on to ball. There's no one in midfield that was going to control the game as well. So overall, I just this McFred thing will work if you have players like Donny, if you have players like Sancho, Martial there, just to give the balance around the team. But when you have too many direct players, it's I just think it's not going to work.
Yeah.
You're just inviting pressure.
What I don't understand about today is on a fundamental level, forget tactics and all that. How does Villa squad assembled at a cost of 150 million look better man to man, man for man, compared to our squad, which is cost 750 million? And
Because
not
we're
just
not
5
a team.
times the outlay in terms of transfer fee, but 5 times the outlay in terms of wages also, I'm pretty sure. Right? And I'm pretty sure that Ollie, who's on 10 or 12 million pounds a year, is making 5 times what Dean Smith is making.
No, Ole is working for free. He's not getting paid.
I think even
that's the only way they've extended his contract.
Even the biggest fraud in the world would ensure that he's committing the fraud so that he gets paid. So he is getting paid, no doubt. It's a 3-year vacation. See,
vacation program. You get a certificate at the end.
So
it's like the billionaire's kid who just gets to walk into the CEO's office, right?
Yeah.
There's
some questions in the chat.
There's questions that are coming up, right? So Pram, thanks for joining in. Hi Vishnu. Thanks for joining in, man. So he says 59.7 on possession for United, 28 shots, out of which 4 were on target. Villa had an overall lower possession with better shot conversion. Would you say the attackers failed to convert their chances? I can't.
Villa.
No. Yeah. Well, he's
Villa.
asking. I'm
Yeah, I
assuming
think.
Yeah,
he's
so
asking
I,
about would he
I got
say?
an interesting stat on that issue. It's that both the teams, right? They had the same XG. Our XG was 1.21, so was Villa's. Our XG of 1.21 was a result of 28 shots, and theirs was a result of 5 shots. So you can imagine the quality of chances they had. Our team had,
Yeah.
4 defenders in front of us taking a shot from 30 yards, a layoff which curls from the side where there are 2 defenders between you and the goalie. So
Yeah.
those are like
Mm.
really 0.01 xg shots, right? What are you going to
Mm,
achieve? It was the same story with West Ham in the League Cup.
yeah.
Yeah, and I
It's
think for Villa as well, the other thing I wanted to say quickly is that I think they could have had a lot higher XG.
It should have
The thing
been
is,
bloody 3-1. There were so many
Ollie
chances that.
Watkins
Mm,
got caught off offside so many times. If he had just played off the line of the last man,
mm,
I think they would have gotten a few more shots, and I think they would have scored.
Yeah,
De Gea saved us, did amazing as well on
right.
2 occasions. One was a
what
stupid back pass by Maguire,
by
which,
Yeah.
Maguire?
oh my god, ridiculous.
I
And
think
the
he got a
second one
bollocking from
got a ball locking.
De
And
Gea as
didn't
well.
didn't didn't the fullback or winger miss like an easy chance blazed over the bar from 3 yards?
Yes,
There was a cross that
yes,
came
Yeah,
in across
that
the face
was
of the goal.
yeah,
yes,
I saw it in the halftime highlights, but that seemed like
yes.
we should have been 1-0 down going into
We should have
halftime.
been 2-0 down. Start of the fucking second half, we should have been 2-0 down. Now,
yeah.
what surprised me about the second half, I thought everybody would have gotten a bollocking and then they would come and play the football. But for the first 15 minutes of the second half, we had 20% possession around, right? And this is absolutely fucking disgusting. We could not get the ball. Okay, let me ask you this question. Let's say Aston Villa went to Anfield. Do you think I'm saying Anfield because that's the only stadium that I can compare some sort of an atmosphere in the top
Mm.
6 or whatever, right? Do you think they would have allowed for them to have 70%, a visiting team to have 70% possession? It wouldn't have happened. And for me, that was the most surprising. What did we do wrong and why didn't we get the possession? We couldn't, we didn't, we couldn't control the ball. And for me, at home, that is fucking surprising.
Chai, you know the answer to the question.
I
It's the
don't.
midfield.
I
It's
don't.
the midfield, Chai. It's the midfield. It's the way we want to play as well. You look at the way Villa was set out. They stretched so far, so wide.
Yeah.
They covered every single angle of the game. And United, for some reason, our players were focused on where the ball was at. For some reason, they had so many free men, and we were just so focused on where the ball was at. I think that same issue from last year, where we just focus on the player with the ball, where we don't track the runners. It's just coming back to play. Um, it- we, we've got Matic in the bench. We've got Van de Beek on the bench. Two players who have been ideal for this game.
Yeah.
And I know that Luke Shaw went out injured and Maguire went out injured. So we were kind of, scraping the
Constrained for
barrel for
substitution, right?
subs.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why
What
Matic and I don't understand why Van de Beek doesn't get a chance, dude. The
what
League
would we
Cup, he played
change?
so well. Huh?
What would we change and how to bring about this change
What do you mean? Well, I'll just put
in the
him in.
midfield?
I'll put him in midfield and I'll ask him, you
I
gotta
know you
control the
will,
ball.
but
Yeah.
what does it take for Ole to realize what we're doing?
Well,
That's probably what.
he he clearly prefers McFred for whatever reason. So look, end of the day, if players don't come up with individual brilliance or they don't score a wonder shot, Solskjaer could be in big trouble for me, I think, going to the
I think it's
rest of
gone
the
by
season.
Christmas, boss. Because you know what? There are two things that were evident to me, and please, I'll get your opinions on each one of them. I think there were frustrations with Mason Greenwood being or taking those selfish shots on target. I think the frustration built up within Bruno, and I think when things are going well, things are going well. You don't have these clash of personalities. I think when things are not going well, I think there is a clash of personalities that's inevitable, and I don't think Solskjaer can manage that. I want to get your thoughts on it, saying if things go to shit in the next few games, and it could, how do we salvage this? I think Ole is gone before Christmas if this continues to happen.
Um, Chai, what are you salvaging? What is the unacceptable thing for you? What result to the season would be unacceptable to you?
Look, when they did all the signings, this is what my expectations were. I think we should be challenging for the title, right? With the players that we
Yeah,
have on paper, we need to be challenging for the title. And we ain't challenging for the title if we lose the games that we just lost, right?
yeah,
We're not. And it's, yes, you can accept it if it's a one-off, right? But the games that we won, games we've won, let's say the Wolves game, let's say the Southampton draw, whatever those two games, and the West Ham win as well. It's pure luck, or somebody stepping up to the plate and delivering a worldie to win that game. So I think it's heavily player dependent, right? And what I want
yeah.
to know is, if we aren't as lucky as we were last season to finish second place, I don't think Solskjaer makes his own luck. That's my point.
Hmm.
And if he doesn't change his tactics or his style of play, or bring in a style of play that's competent enough, I see as you can have Ronaldo and Messi in the same team and still you aren't winning, right? If you have
Yeah.
McFred, Ronaldo was living on scraps.
Mm.
Literally, there are a bunch of pigeons who eat bloody bones of chicken out of bones, dude. That's exactly what fucking Ronaldo would have felt like.
Yeah, I think Vishnu's asked a question. Sorry if you've already spoken about this. Who should be Man United's penalty taker, Bruno or Ronaldo? I think for me, Bruno should be the penalty taker. I think his conversion rate for penalties was, I think it was like 90
90s.
something percent, 97% or something ridiculously high. Ronaldo's missed a few penalties prior to this, even for Portugal, I think. So,
But the number of
but look, I
penalties
think
also matter, right?
we can
The
talk
number
about
of
this
penalties he
penalty.
took.
We can talk about this penalty chat, but the problem is, I think even with the penalty, we would have drawn this game, which was a poor result anyway. We were top of the table today. We've lost this game when we really should have won this game.
That's
And
my point, right?
now, just going into the October period where we've got so many tough games. I just don't see how Solskjaer survives. Games like this we should be winning, Chai.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly my question, right? What I asked you was, how do
So
we salvage what we're doing to get to where our expectations are? I don't think
look,
what our expectations are in line with our tactics. That's
I don't think Solskjaer goes until we're out of the Champions League. For me personally, I think
okay.
anything before that, the board will just be like, okay, give him some time. Let's see what he can do. You know how passive the board is with sacking managers. So I don't think they make a decision straight away to the way things are going and just pull the plug on Ole. I think they're gonna wait for it, let it ride for a while longer, let it marinate for a while longer, and then as soon as we're out of the Champions League, is out. I think
Hmm.
so. This
Rishi,
board has
what do you think,
proven,
man?
yeah.
I kind of lost a bit of what you guys were saying, but it's about where do you see Solskjaer going from here, or how do you salvage?
Hmm.
That's what it was about, right?
Yes, it is.
Hello.
Yes, yes, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so here's what: when the gods reward a fool, right? There is no incentive for him to become smart because he's been rewarded for being a fool. So you have to look at it from Ollie's point of view and try to understand his personality based on what he's done so far. He's stuck to his guns. He's been rewarded for it, right? He's beaten City thrice in a year, and he's beaten PSG twice at home, and whatever his highs have been. He's been third in the league, and then he's got second in the league. So in his mind, his tactics are working, and it just needs a little time. You look at him talk; it's like he's got the most confidence in his own methods. He doesn't have any self doubt. He doesn't have any introspection. That for me is a worrying sign. And I've said this even before the Europa League final, and it was confirmed even more after the final that There might be a time like what Ollie did right so far that he's done in the 2.5 years before the season started was a good job. I'm not sure if anyone else could have done that because he kept the core of the players. He brought in good players, like he refreshed the squad. He deserves credit for that. It's kind of the job that Lampard did in his first season, where he had no transfer window, so to say, but he ensured that the team qualified for the Champions League. So today, if Chelsea fans are hoisting Tuchel on their shoulders, they have to remember that he was in the Champions League because Lampard did the unimaginable the previous season. He got them to the Champions League. So if Oli had been brought in for that kind of a job, which in my opinion was over after the previous season, then I would have said by all means give Oli a statue at the stadium, bro. Because
Mm.
what he did was impossible. He got so many bad seeds out of the club. There were so many people who didn't deserve but were still hanging around. He got them out of the club. He brought in good players. And probably the reason for someone like a Varane coming in, you never know, could also be Pogba saying that, yeah, this guy is an awesome coach. Uh, and he's maintained a good relationship with Pogba. So all these things are factors that matter. And I'm willing to consider those. And I'm willing to give Oli props for what he's done. But there is a time when this coach is not good enough. Your third grade teacher is brilliant in the third grade, but she's only good for the third grade. She can't teach you MSc and PhD. So there comes a time to replace the coach. Do we have the kind of decisive board that will go in and take that decision? Or will they be like, the ship is going steady, let's not rock it too much? So that's my bigger concern. And all my questions again, they come back to the board. This season props, they've done a decent job. They did what was required to be done, you know.
Yeah.
So fair enough. But there are big decisions that we don't take a lot of the times on every level of this club, from the board to the management to whoever is involved. So that's my bigger worry with Solskjaer, that the time to replace him is right now. Pick up someone like a Graham Potter. He's taken Brighton to bloody fourth in the league, man. With what a
Uh,
killer squad.
But
Take that
you
guy,
know
take
what?
Erin Ten Hag,
I
pick up
agree
these
with you.
things.
You know what? I think the biggest mistake we've kind of not accounted for is the pressure that a manager feels at being at the helm of United, right? And that's something
mm,
that we always discounted. So regardless, we found that with Moyes as well. I mean, he was a great coach, and he still probably is, right? I think the point is the pressure of being a United coach gets to some people, and we just need to look at the top tier ones. Jose is a joker, right? I mean, he has his moments, ups and downs. But look, man, we've spoken a lot, and I'm just so angry that it's just not things are not, I guess, structured enough for me to
Yeah.
ask these questions. But where did we fail against a Villa squad? Now, Girish, I'll come to you first. I think apart from McFred, there's something fundamentally wrong why we perform poorly, and we've spoken about this a lot. Where do you think? How do you see a way forward if there were one?
Chai, I was messaging you during the game, right? The difference for me when I saw the way Villa played and the way United played was
Mm,
one team that knew exactly where their players were, knew
mm,
when to pass, when to hold on to the ball, when to slow down the pace, when to quicken the tempo. And then you had another team who had players who looked like they just trained yesterday for the first time and have been shot into the first team.
mm.
For me, the way I look at it, look, Solskjaer's been here for what, 3 years now. Okay.
Yeah.
This going into his fourth year. Is it fourth year? Yeah. And for me, I don't see an improvement. Okay. For me, like when I look at Solskjaer, look, he's done really well. He's done really well from where we were after Jose left us. Players' morale were battered, staff didn't, everyone, there's so much negativity around the team. And he's brought us to a level where we can now compete in the next level with the squad that we have right now. But the problem with Solskjaer is that every person, regardless of how good you are, you've got deficiencies. Okay.
Mm.
You may be good with man management, you may be poor with coaching, or you may be poor with coaching, you'll be good with man management. There's going to be something that is lacking in your ability. What you need to do as a person who's humble enough in that position is to accept that there's a deficiency in your skill set and hire someone to complement your deficiencies. With Solskjaer, like, okay, last season we considered so many set pieces. This season we brought in a set piece coach. Now we've considered only one set piece in the last, what, 5 or 6 games. Okay, we've done really well there. But what I don't see is that with our play style, we don't hold on to the ball, we don't control the game, we don't dominate games like Villa. That is a concern for me because we've done this in the last three seasons, and we've not really improved on that.
Mhm.
What I think needs to happen is that either Solskjaer gets in better coaching staff around him. We've got there are teams like PSG, teams like Juventus, teams like Man City, who have so many have an abundance of high technical coaches there. You can go and poach them. Which coach doesn't want to come to Man United? Go and get the best coaches out there to really complement your deficiencies. That's the first thing I'll tell Solskjaer. And if you don't want to do that, then you've got to leave. Get a manager who's tactically sound, and then get him to really run the training sessions and all that. I just don't see a progression because if this is Villa right now that we've lost to, what if the likes of Brighton, like Graham Potter is a really good manager. When he comes to United next, he's going to look at his blueprint on how Villa beat us. He's going to apply that blueprint. And you have really good tactical managers, like even Pep for that matter. Last season when he came, I think was it the Old Trafford game or the Etihad game? I can't remember. We expected them to come and attack us, but they sat back so deep, and then they were able to get the result. I mean, we've become so predictable, Chai. This lineup going to this game, we predicted this lineup to the T.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. It was
Gary. Just to bring to your notice, in case you didn't know, Man City played Foden at false 9 today, and they won 1-0 against Chelsea, away to Chelsea.
There you go.
Right. So
they don't even have a striker, guys. They don't even have a striker.
No, and Jesus, Gabriel Jesus is the guy who scored winner. The so-called they don't have a striker. The guy who is supposed to be the striker, he's the one who scored. He started on right wing today.
This is what is good with teams that are like City or Chelsea or Liverpool right now. You don't have to have your star man performing for you to win games. Raheem Sterling has gone missing. I don't know where the fuck he is. Right? I don't even know if KDB is even playing his best on his best form, but they still churn results out. And we seem to win games only when all the fucking Pogba, Bruno, Ronaldo, and whoever has a phenomenal game. That's when we fucking thrash the opponent, right? But here, my wife is asking a question. Now she says, if there was one player of United who deserved a mention, or I'm rewording her comment here, deserved a mention or who did well today, who would that be? She asked me this while the game was going on. You know what I said? I don't know about the United player, but Mike Dean deserved a fucking shout out because he's a fucking dick. But anyway, who do you think at United did anything of essence today, really?
I think the groundsman did a really good job, Chai. Considering the pitch was really, really wet. The water, there's no water clogging issues and things like that. I think it was superb.
I think the medical squad came.
Fred the Red.
Fred the Red.
Hey, you know what, guys?
Performance from Fred the Red.
Speaking about mascots, I just found out the other day that Arsenal's mascot, the dinosaur mascot.
Yeah.
The dinosaur is actually called Gunnosaurus.
Gunnosaurus.
So if Solskjaer leaves his job, I know where he could go to, and they'll take his resume. Look at
But seriously, dude.
Yeah. Oh, De Gea, I think he played well. I think De Gea had a good game.
Yeah, I would probably give De Gea the star performer of the game. But that's sad, right? I mean,
it's sad, isn't it?
We remember that 3 or 4 year phase when De Gea won Player of the Year. And we know what
Correct.
we were like back then.
But we
We
had
were playing
shit
against
players then.
LVG, right? Really? I
We
mean, we
had
were
shit
playing
players then,
under.
guys. We've got Ronaldo, we've got Bruno, we've got Pogba, we've got Greenwood. Okay, forget the
Dude,
midfield.
you can have fucking KDB in. Actually, the only thing we're missing is someone like a KDB, maybe. But I don't
Yeah.
know. Fuck we. I don't know, dude. I'm very fucking disappointed. And this is supposed to be a long weekend for us. So I was looking forward to this game. I was like, okay, you know what? We'll we'll get a result. We'll thrash Villa some 4-1 or some shit like that. But you know what
Yeah.
surprised
I
me? I didn't think Villa would press us. And for ball players at the back, I don't think we have any, and I don't think we can match the tempo of any like quality Premier League team. In fact, when I saw them pressing, I was hopeful that they would come out, play a bit of football, and we'd find like leaks in their defense and we'd capitalize on it. Because when I first in the first 15 minutes, I was hoping for a Leeds recap, right?
Mm,
I thought we'd find our
Yeah.
spaces and we'd play
yeah.
well. Uh, wasn't I don't even know. I don't
Um.
know who are the players to blame. I don't know the fucking manager to blame. Who else do we need to fucking get? I'm just fucking clueless.
Chai, literally, right?
But
As the game was coming to the end, I was just thinking to myself, okay, what do I actually talk about today?
Yeah,
Literally, I was just like, what do I talk about today?
where do we go from here?
Where
It's like we're out of the okay Carabao Cup. Fucking who gives a shit? I don't care. Young
Hey,
boys,
Chai,
we
Chai,
lose.
actually hang on there. Let me okay. We both said the Carabao Cup was shit. We shouldn't be competing. But honestly though,
That would be the best
the
earned fucking
nerve,
trophy,
the
right?
nerve that we have, because we've not won a trophy in the last 3 years, can we really say Carabao Cup is a trophy not worth winning? Dude, it's still a trophy, right? I mean,
Man, you
absolutely.
know what? I think we're good at finding excuses at United. We say, okay, you know what? That's a trophy that we don't want to win, and then fucking, it's only young boys. We're fucking a new team. We lose them. We lose to them. The last three games, what the fuck have we done? And Rishi, the question is, there's a theme here, and if we don't change it, the theme's going to continue, and we're going to fucking struggle this season, right? The likes of, we'll finish top four. I think we'll finish top four, right? I think we will. But
Yeah. I think we'll
Rishi,
finish fourth.
please.
And yeah, I think I yeah, just to go back to what you said a few moments ago, which is that you were hoping for a repeat of the Leeds performance.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know what was apart from the nature of the goals and the finishes themselves, which were world class. I don't know what was so encouraging about the Leeds performance, except for the scoreline. Because if you
mm,
look back at that game, okay, Pogba got 4 assists. I think each of those 4 assists was not an assist. It was the pass. It was like the pass before the assist, and it was like banger
Hmm.
scored by Bruno or Mason doing his usual, pinpoint finishing sort of thing, which made that an assist. Even the Lindelof assist for Bruno's third goal, which was his wonder goal, that was
Hmm.
like a crazy finish from a crazy angle. He took it first time. He didn't even take a touch. Right, the ball came in. It was a through ball. He took a touch and it went. So I our XG in that game was depending on which source you look at because they have different databases for uh,
Hmm.
the shots taken so far is between 1.4 and 1.62 for five
mm,
goals scored. So that should
Yeah.
tell you everything about the nature of how we've been set up and how we played. We don't have a system. We don't.
yeah.
The Villa players had a system. I think it's everyone's tired of saying it, but Oli doesn't have a
Eh,
system. And I'll
But
tell you
why do
something
we keep?
frankly.
I'm. This happens after every fucking team we play against, and this has been a constant conversation. If we play against young boys, we feel that the system is better than ours. We play against Villa, we feel that the system is better than ours. We play West Ham, we feel the system is better than ours.
Yeah,
We played Newcastle system was better than ours. And every time we come up to the same fucking conversation. Do we win games because we have good players to make those crucial,
yeah,
decisive goals, or do we
yeah.
have a system that supports or I guess forces the attackers to score? And I think it's the former, right? I think we're just hanging by because we have quality players. either it be Rashford and Martial from 2 seasons ago, or Rashford and Bruno from the last season, or Ronaldo now. It's just been that's the only source of goals. I don't think there's any been Gary. I think you
No,
can talk to.
but Jai, forget the lack of system. Like the system is like one level above what I'm about to say now. The basic thing about a player being good on the ball,
Yeah.
the player being good on the ball. I'm not kidding you. You know what game I was thinking of today? What game I was reminded of? Do you guys remember the Super Cup game versus Madrid the year after we won the Europa League? The season
Oh,
opener. We had just signed
Mm.
Lukaku and we lost that
yeah,
game
yeah,
2.
yeah,
Lukaku scored like a tap in from a rebound or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
I
yeah.
remember watching that game and looking at these two-time European champions, Cruz, Casemiro, Modric, Benzema, Bale, Asensio, Ronaldo. They were playing us like they were passing us off the park. Their game was so, and essentially Zidane used to set them up like that. That there were three people who would do the defensive work in midfield. Two of them could also pass brilliantly, and there were three attackers, out and out attackers. It is essentially what Klopp also does. I don't want to, Klopp is simple: press, 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 overload, 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 and three hard workers and then three flair players. It's as
Mm.
simple as that. But they keep doing it every single day. They are looking at improving every day. I don't think we have that process, and we've not
Guys,
had that process since Sir Alex left
Since Van
because
Hal
we have
actually,
been,
Van Hal had some sort of a system. To be honest with you, Van Hal had a
yeah.
system. We just didn't give him time enough. That's all.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, his tempo was also really slow, and he was just passing it across horseshoe ही हो रहा था उसमें भी. But
Hey,
there has
but
not been that the players have not been good on the ball. That is what I'm used to remembering. Edge of the box, Paul Scholes 34, Giggs 36, you know, Rooney at 26. These guys are just one touch flicking the ball over the top of the defense, and some guy makes a run in behind, and then he's just got to deal with the goalie, and then he nutmegs the goalie. These are the kind of goals I'm used to seeing. And for the
mm,
last 8 or 9 years, our coaching staff, right? You'll find this hard to believe, but there have been players from the time that Sir Alex was still here. There are
yeah,
not just players. There are coaches, like one-on-one coaches, right? United have like 30 or 40 coaches in their arsenal, and there have been players who've been there since that time. Sorry, coaches who've been there since that time. Why aren't we trying something new? Like, why don't we go back to someone like a Rene Muhlenstein who likes can you ever imagine Sir Alex doing that Amazon documentary thing which Guardiola was doing with that magnet board, and he was going like, oh, this one goes there and then this one goes there. Sir Alex was never that guy.
yeah.
He had people under him who did a good job, who trained the players well, who taught them how to hold on to the ball, who taught them patterns of play. That was Rene Muhlenstein. Poor guy is being wasted as assistant manager of Australia. Bring him over, man. What are you doing
Yeah.
with that bloody baldy Mike Phelan, whose only
Mike
job is
Phelan.
slapping guys on the ass and telling them well done? He was
He
bloody
is such
director
a.
of football at Sydney FC, man.
Sydney
He
Sydney
got
FC.
bloody
mar-
FC.
he got
I mean, no
relegated by Hull as
disrespect to the
well.
Australians, but he was at Sydney FC. He wasn't at Manchester City or Juventus or something like that.
Guys, it's simple, right? When you go and look at it, right? Okay, the players are not playing to potential. Who do you blame? You blame the coaches. You look at the coaches, they're not performing because the players are not playing to their potential. Who do you look at? The manager. You look at the manager, he's not setting up the teams properly. Okay, you look at it, it's the director of football because he's keeping him in the job. You look at the director of football, he's not really performing because he's still got this manager playing shit football. Who do you look at? It's the owners. So for me, it's simple, right? The owners are sitting across the Atlantic Ocean. They're making a hell load of money because we've just signed Ronaldo. We're selling millions of shirts. Stadiums are open now. Fans are back in the stadiums. Everyone's happy. For
So we're
them,
disappointed.
as long as they're making money. And look, the important thing is the culture as well. When you look at American sports, like the winning is secondary. What's more important is the atmosphere and making the club money.
Hot
It's
dog.
things like that. Yeah, it's very much franchise. It's not the same as England. So for them, winning is really not a priority. Okay, it's top four every year. As long as you get to Champions League football, they're happy. And for me, that's where the problem is. So, like, I think something's got to change. Whether I'm hoping the director of football, the new director of football who's come in now, really takes a good look at the coaching system right now, looks at the players, because eventually, if you don't win anything, Chai, it's simple, right? Return on investments. I, as a owner, I've invested so much money in this club. If you can't get me into Champions League football with the squad that you have, where's my return on investment?
Yeah.
I think there are two metrics to rate a club, right? When you're talking about franchises and stuff like that, one is obviously our financial metrics but there's nothing to substantiate the emotional ones as well. And at the end of the day, we're all fans. We're sitting, what is it, 12:30 fucking Australia time. We're sitting and discussing something, a team that we're passionate about. Now that you can't put a price on, and you know what? At some point in time, there will be enough momentum this side of the thing to overlook the financial metrics, which is what's happened this season, I guess, and bringing in the players that we failed to bring in the last two seasons. But last two questions before we close the show, right? And it's been we've obviously expressed a lot of frustrations. First question, I guess, for both of you is, where do you see us going from now on? What do you think is a realistic ambition that we need to have this season, considering what we've done over the last 4 games, which have been pretty much, I mean, it's right off, right? For the squad that we have, for the talent that we have, it's been a write off. Do you think this will continue for longer? Do we think we'll fare better? If so, what's our peak? Where do we get to? I'll ask Rishi. I'll ask you first, and then I'll get to Gary. Okay. So I want to find out what's a successful season with the amount of investment we've made.
A successful season is either a Champions League or a Premier League, right? I mean, that's a successful season. An acceptable season would be, I think, Champions League. We still have a shot. Forget the fact that we lost against Young Boys, or Champions League, as they call it in Bombay, is a matka, kind of a matka, because even the fact that Chelsea, with the start that they got, there was no logical reason they should have won it, but they still won it, right? With a coach who had 3. It doesn't mean that Tuchel is the most brilliant coach ever and, he rubbed off in a way that no one else could. It also means that the nature of the beast is such that it can be tamed. So Champions League, since the beginning of this season, I've felt, with everything that's around, we favorable draw, Mr. Champions League on our side. But then when I made that prediction, I wasn't aware that Oli had lost 6 of his first 10 Champions League games. So,
yeah.
But then again, even discounting with Roberto Di Matteo, Chelsea won a Champions League. So what more should I say?
That's true.
And they had a shitty squad. They had Raul Meireles and Gary Cahill and John Terry on crutches and Ashley Cole and I think Ivanovic was at right back at that time. You were a fantastic right back, don't get me wrong. But they had like an old squad. Drogba had to step up. So Champions League is still possible, according to me. In the league, I would say that acceptable is anywhere, say, even if you finish third, but you get to 80 points and the winner got 86 or 87, and you finish third with 80 points. That to me is acceptable. I mean, Real Madrid have done that. They won 3 Champions League, and 2 of those 3 seasons they finished third. And in one, they won the league and Champions League double. So that's acceptable to me, I guess.
Gary, what are your thoughts, man?
I don't know about you guys, but I think we're not going to win anything this season. Unfortunately, I think maybe the FA Cup, if you're lucky enough. I think the way we play football right now, it's hard to see us. Number one is keeping pace with the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City in the league. I don't see us keeping pace there. We might finish 4th, maybe, if we're lucky, and get the Champions League spot for next season. In the FA Cup, we may have a better chance now. I think Ole, now that we're out of the League Cup, I think he's going to put more emphasis on winning one of the other 2 cup competitions we're in. So I think with the FA Cup coming in, I think it starts after January. We're basically going to be playing our full team squad, from day one. I think we've got a good chance of winning the FA Cup. And Champions League, I think we may go until the quarterfinals. I mean, it's not a given now we're going to get out of the group, I don't know why everyone's feeling so confident about it. I certainly don't think that Atlanta and Villarreal are going to be easy tests. So we've got to really come with our A game if we want to get out of the group. So for me, acceptable is winning the FA Cup and finishing top four.
Weren't
I,
those the same expectations we had last season though? After finishing third, we said that top four and a trophy is the expectation, but we failed at the last hurdle every single time.
well, if
So
he's going to win
yeah,
something. I mean, the way the owners have put in so much money, and for me, guys, this is the key, right? Before this season, we didn't have Ronaldo. Okay, you bring in Ronaldo. Ronaldo left Juventus because the club were going through a transition phase now. He went there because he thought he was going to win the Champions League with them. He left there because he realized that they were not going to be winning the Champions League anytime soon. He came to United because United had a project. We signed Varane, we signed Sancho, Pogba is still here, Bruno's there, and he really believed in the project that we were building. Now, I don't know about you, but Ronaldo being the player he is, the winner he is, do you think he's going to put up with the shit today?
no, did you see his face in the last minutes? He was furious.
He was
He's gonna
furious,
throw,
bro. He
he's
was
gonna
so
throw
furious.
such a tantrum he's gonna throw in the dressing room.
He's
I was happy that he's gonna light a fire under everyone's ass.
yeah,
And he obviously knows that Oli might be senior at United, or but who the fuck is Oli? I'm bloody Cristiano Ronaldo, and I agree a million times over that who the fuck is Oli? That's Cristiano Ronaldo. Like if he
yeah.
has something to share with you about even coaching or whether to wear your underwear over your pants or whatever it is, you listen to bloody Ronaldo.
And you know what? He's got Sir Alex Ferguson's phone number on speed dial. So if something's not going right, he's going to give Ferguson a call and say, "Look, this is not
But
acceptable. I think you need to, yeah, do something about
Yeah,
it."
but Gary, what do you think that equation is like? Because Sir Alex has been
It's
watching every single game at Old Trafford. He's gone to away games. He's looking at what Oli is doing. And if there was a dialogue, don't you think that with the
it
amount of
could have
love that Sir
happened.
Alex
hi
has,
guys.
he
I'm
would have
telling you right
already.
now, Ole is under so much pressure this season because he's been given the
Oh,
players. He's been told he's got to win a trophy, even if he doesn't mention it explicitly. He knows he's got to win a trophy, and the fact that Ronaldo's there, that it's a given. He's got to win something this season.
Yeah.
okay. There's,
So
you know
many.
what my expectations of this season were, and we'll get to Jehan's comment in a bit. But um, I was thinking we're going to challenge for the title this season. I don't care about any other cups because they come.
Chai, come on,
I was
be serious,
wait,
man.
wait. This is start of the season when you knew you were signing Ronaldo. Don't you think the normal expectation for any United fan is to challenge for the title? I don't care about the last 4 games. This is my expectation, bro. I'm not saying it's reality. So what I'm trying to say is at least we need to challenge for the title. We just need to be in the mix, right? At least to a point where we're 3 points or 4 points or 5 points behind the league leaders at any given stage in time, right? At any given point in time, we need to be in that race. Do I see that happening based on the past 4 results? And let me paint you this picture, right? Last 4 results have been last 4 or 5. Southampton draw. It's been a Wolves 1-0 scrape. It's been a West Ham game that we should have lost, but we kind of won. De Gea saving the penalty and stuff. We lost to West Ham in the League Cup, Carabao Cup. We lost to Aston Villa, and we lost to Young Boys. This has been, apart from the Leeds and the Newcastle game, there's nothing to hit home about the season. Let's be very, very clear and let's call cat a cat. It's been extremely disappointing. For a person who thought they'd be challenged for the league, I seriously have doubts. Now, do I think they'll win anything? Probably not this season, right? We'll see how things go. But, and we've discussed this exactly like
Yeah, Jihan, pick up.
Jihan saying here. Look,
It's like, yeah. Now I was going to
one
say
last
it's
question,
the
and then
same.
addressing Jehan's comments as well, right? The problem, I think, the buck stops with Ole at this game, and so has the last 2 performances. Now, what about his tactics are holding us back? Now, apart from the midfield situation, now that we've addressed this over and over and over again. For me, his in-game management is absolutely atrocious. I don't think he sees the pattern of play. Considering we had the best two midfielders in Dan Fletcher and Michael Carrick being a part of that coaching squad, all of fucking millions of United fans are seeing McFarlane are working, and he keeps continuing to do the same thing. What I want to know, how much patience can we have with him, and where do you want to see him get to in December that you can have confidence of giving him probably the rest of the time, right? This is what I want to know. And come December, where do you want to be in the league? How do you see that? This is short term. I know we've spoken about the long term aspirations of the seasons and stuff like that, but in the short term, I'll go to Gary first. Let's see what you say, and with that, we'll probably close this as well.
Right? You know what, Chai? I was actually thinking about this, right? I think for me, the players that we have right now, I think we are very well suited to a 5-3-2 formation. Because I think the way we've got Wan-Bissaka right now, he's meant to be this bombing forward who's meant to put crosses in the box, because we've signed Ronaldo, we've got Cavani. He's not doing that right now. But what he's really good at is defending. So what I'd like to do is play with a 5 at the back, where I have Maguire or Moran in the centre-back position. Left centre-back have Lindelof. Right centre-back have Varane or Maguire, or even Wan-Bissaka. Left centre-back have Telles or Shaw. And right centre-back, I want to play Dalot. We've got so much width in our team, but we're not using it. Up front, in the midfield, I actually think Sancho would do a really good job with Pogba, and have Matic or Van de Beek in the pivot there. Because when you got 5 at the back, the CDM position can be more of a not a destroyer, but more of a creative position. So I think Van de Beek can kind of sit there. And then up front, let's play Ronaldo and Cavani up front. No, I think it's a perfect formation for us going into the season. And for me, I think, like, going back to the question that you had, I think if he's out of the Champions League, he's got to leave for me. Like, I'm Ole out right now, but I know that's not going to happen. But for me, if you're out of the Champions League for the second year running, you've got no place in United as
I don't think Ronaldo will even turn up for the Europa League games. He'll just say that I'm not playing these games.
So let's forfeit the trophy. I'm not going to go to Astana or Kazakhstan.
He's not going to even turn up for the matchday squad, and Oli will say that I'm resting him for the league. But it'll be very clear that Ronaldo says I'm not going to turn up for these games.
Yeah.
And the thing that you said, Gary, about playing both Ronaldo and Cavani up front is, I mean, that's the moment we got these two players, I would be like, yeah, most obviously go 4-4-2, classic, Giggsy and Beckham, Cavani and Ronaldo in the middle, just bring them crosses in. My problem is that all these other players that you mentioned in your setup, in a 3-5-2 or a 5-3-2, those players have been here for a long time. How often have we succeeded in getting the ball into the box?
Because they're not coached.
That fundamental aspect of that gameplay is missing from. I mean, you are fundamentally Oli out, so matlab, you have a problem. The seed is rotten for you, right?
Yeah.
So I agree. It's hard to disagree at this point that I mean, that dude is such a good politician, man. Like, he could have held down any of the major chairs of power in this country, like, easily. He's a wheeler dealer fixer. He knows how to handle people. He's wonderful in press conferences, and I don't accept these theories that he's not hard enough on players. Like, obviously, if he wasn't hard on players who are not doing well, people would have lost respect for him in the dressing room, and you can tell that on the pitch. The players respect him, but the reason that they respect him even more is he keeps the shit within the dressing room. When someone asks him a tough question or a leading question which is asking him to blame a player, he doesn't drag them out. He's basically Mourinho. He is basically Mourinho, but someone who has the dressing room. That's all.
100%. But let me stop you there. This is all being under players who are genuinely not as big a personality as Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, when he comes
Yeah.
into the team, I think there's an obvious break in chain of command. I would imagine, and this break in chain of command would obviously raffle personalities like Paul Pogba, like Bruno Fernandes. Now, Bruno Fernandes is taking the penalty right today. He's thinking to myself, if I fucking miss this, I'll get blamed because Ronaldo is better than me in some shape or form, and then there's that added pressure of his teammates being better than him, right? That subconsciously, I don't think he dealt with it. Just to give you an example, right? And that's
Yeah.
what capitulated that penalty. And this will happen more and more, where there will be a divided voice coming from up top, right? I don't think we've seen this with Portugal as well. When he got injured in that Euro final, he was calling the shots from the sidelines, not the Portuguese coach at that
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think when
Yeah.
that happens, we're under a divided voice. I think that's what probably Ronaldo being in the team was probably a little bit more of a, I think, more of a bane than a boon, right? But moving past that, I mean, you could. I keep saying the system that we play, being counterattacking, being whatever. I think that needs to change fundamentally. I think there needs to be something else that needs to come in and just take a plan B of sorts, right? And we don't seem to have a plan B. That's what scares me in the short term, and even that's probably what's going to give Solskjaer. That's what's going to give him the sack, right? The point is, we have a very formidable squad in terms of numbers, and I think people who can perform and stuff like that. It's just how to use them wisely is what Ole is not figured it out, and it's
Yeah.
been 3 years. I think it's just time running out, from in my opinion. And we have Jehan saying we have Cristiano Ronaldo, but the most baffling part was we didn't cross, and that's true. We don't have anybody fucking putting the ball in the net.
Dude, one Bissaka, dude, he gets the ball.
He just passes back, and he expects whoever is in the right wing to cross. That's fucking ridiculous. And Pram's asking, so where would Fernandes fit in your lineup? Nah, bro, he might as well fucking play goalkeeper only. Fucking, he
Look,
can
for
do
me, I
everything.
think, I mean, the thing is, we have a lot of issues with balance in the team. I think eventually, if you want to get the best out of this team, you're going to upset some big players because you're not going to fit
Yeah.
everyone. Right now, we've got 6 players for the first front 3 positions. Someone is going to be on the bench regardless.
Yeah.
So I think either way, we've just got to do the best thing for the team to pick the players who's going to fit a system that's going to work for us, and we need to find a balance.
We need to find a balance. And then look,
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with Jehan as well. He says, look, we cannot get away with individualism, waiting for a moment. And we've spoken about this right through the show as well. Most of the games that we have won because somebody seems to come up with a worldie to fucking save our asses. And
Yeah.
I'm glad we missed the penalty, but it's been a very disappointing evening. I don't know for you guys. I think, it's going to take a lot of... I think from now on, I think this will show the true character of the United team and Ole as well. I think to bounce back from this with the string of results that we've had over the last 4 games and to put in a performance again against Everton, I think is crucial for us to show that we're here to perform. Everton's not going to be an easy game. I think I don't know. I don't know which United is going to turn up, and we're as volatile as we were last season.
Yeah.
And we've discussed this as well, Gary. It's like we don't know what United's going to turn up, but all I can say is it's been a disappointing day for all United fans, and
Yeah.
there's only one way to go about up now, unless we decide to join Arsenal hand in hand.
No. We're not joining Arsenal. We're not joining Arsenal.
The only thing is they're probably 1/5 our wages, and they still will probably be there.
Yeah. I guess we probably should wrap it up there. Yeah, I guess thanks again, Rishi, for joining us.
Yeah.
Good chat.
Thanks for
Short
having me.
notice, and glad you could come and chime in on your comments. Please no Arsenal.
Please no.
If Arsenal finish above us, oh my God, Chai, I will lose my
Dude,
shit.
if Arsenal finish above us, they're winning the league. That's not going to happen. So,
Arsenal.
if
Thanks,
Arsenal
Gian.
finish
Nice.
above us, they're winning the league.
Thanks for
And
coming
if they
on.
do win the league, from now on. Hands up to the
Yeah.
Rishi. Good to
Pram,
see you, man.
Kwarna,
Thanks for
Vishnu.
joining
Yeah.
us.
Thanks for coming on. All right, guys. Hope you like the video.
Good show, guys. Good show. Good show.
Yeah. Hit a like on the video. Please subscribe to our channel if you're new. Until the next episode, this is Chai with Gary.